What's up with the Sickness.net? It's your boy Coop, man. Y'all know what time it is. You know how I start these things off, man. We back at it. Another interview, man. This been an interview a long time coming, man. I've been trying to get through. We've just been hitting and missing each other, man. But we finally got it, and I'm glad we got it, man. I want to welcome everybody. Welcome Lee Majors to the Sickness. What's up with you, G?
What's going on with you, Coop? Yeah, it has been a long time, man. I've been following y'all for a long time, my whole career, man. I've been around for a long time, man. Long time.
Yeah, man. You know this. I've been like I said at the beginning. I've been trying to get this interview for not just this last couple of weeks or whatever, but like I should have been reached out to you long time ago. I think I probably made an effort once, or maybe I didn't. But like I said, that's the past tense. We got you here now, but you got a definite story to tell. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, we've been around a long time. You definitely been around a long time. So if you could please just like give us a brief, a brief summary of how you got your start in the game and stuff like that for the people who not familiar with Lee Majors' career right now.
Okay. Yeah. Well, first I started off when I was younger. Like 96, I started off. There was a group called APG out of Oakland. Alan Blackwell, he just passed away. Rest in peace. Me and my brother, we was younger, and we had a group called Side Ish, West Side Ish. So he had put up album with us back in the days. We got older, we had hooked up with Nick Peace through Million Dream. That was like 99. We had signed a contract with him. That's the label, like all Andre Nickitina first albums and stuff. We had hooked up with them because they had like a couple of big compilations they had did called $1 Million Dream, back in the day. So then we had hooked up with them and did an album called Everyday Life under Side Industry. That's when I was in a group. So as I started getting older, I started veering more towards my solo career. So like in 2005, I dropped my first solo. It was called Scraper Music. Ever since then, I've been just dropping project after project. I just, I got probably over 30 albums out on iTunes, on underground. I stay on the underground. I never tried to reach out to the majors or nothing because I like having control of all my stuff, all my music and everything like that. So basically I've been just pushing this underground thing, for a minute. That's my whole thing,
Definitely dope. You mentioned early on in your career, Side Industry. I put up a little post on the Sickness. I'm doing an interview with Lee Majors or whatever, and 3 or 4, 5 people ask members from the Sickness. They asked, will there ever be another Side Industry album?
We had started working on one. As we got older, we kind of grew apart. We actually got an album almost done, though. We never just got a chance to finish it. It's actually a pretty dope album. We probably eventually gonna get it together. We probably drop an EP or something like that. But right now everybody doing their solo things and stuff. I would really like to do another album because we all grew up together. We me and my brother and my other boy Reese. We kind of come from that 3 Times Crazy era. That's what we kind of grew up on. So that was that was big fun back then, just to work with Adrian Manning and stuff like that. So I would definitely want to do another one. It's just everybody gotta just come together and get their mind right. And make sure we all on the same page, the same level. So hopefully, there will be another Side Industry album coming soon.
And Ramin, that's your brother, correct?
Yeah, that's my younger brother, Ramin. Yeah.
So that's who everybody he talking about. Ramin been around for a while, also around with Dope Game and all of that with the Keak Da Sneak movement and all that shit early on. Yeah,
exactly.
So what's going on with to kind of get off? Just briefly off of you real quick. What's going on with bruh?
He had kind of took a break from the music scene for me. He had dropped a solo album called Dreadlock Rock Music, but then he he kind of took a break, started doing the family thing. He got he got a barber shop out there in San Leandro. So right now he's just been, doing the family thing, and he's been like cutting hair because he always been cutting hair for the longest. Since we were younger, he always been into like cutting hair. So he kind of like finally said, let me just get a shop going. It's like the last couple of years he's been, working on getting his barber shop going. So right now, that's what he's doing right now. But he's still doing music. He had started doing like gospel stuff for a minute. He kind of took the Adrian Man role for a minute. But, I mean, it wasn't like full-on gospel, but he was kind of like doing more like, kind of like more like the godly songs. He wasn't doing more like the street stuff no more because he wasn't really, doing that no more. So, he's more of a family man now. So that's what he's been doing.
Yeah, so basically following his true passion, man, going with definitely taking care of his family. That's what's up, man. Dr. Robinson, man. I seen him a while back, man. I think he was with this was a while ago. I think this when I was doing a little college radio thing out here in Fresno. He was promotional work and stuff. Man, shout out to Ramin though. But I got a couple of questions from the Figaz members. Like I mentioned, I got my guy Art Jeezy. You mentioned earlier, transition to your solo career and things, but not only him, but a few other people want to know, how did you, do that transition of going to that and then side industry, then the solo, how did you end up getting with Yukmouth and becoming a member of the regime?
What happened was, Dru Down is my blood cousin. My grandfather and brothers and sisters. So when we were younger, when Dru had his career first going, pimping the air, you feel me? We were kind of like young, so we couldn't really run around. They were doing their thing, all in the club. We couldn't even get the clubs back then. So we actually been, around the block for a long time, but we didn't until we got older. We didn't really get get inducted into the regime till probably 2000 and I want to say 2007 or something like that, when we had hooked back up with Dru, because Dru was doing a lot of jail time. He was in and out of jail, so that's kind of what happened with his career. He kind of missed out on a lot of opportunities by him going in and out of jail. He's a real strict dude, you know what I mean? So once we hooked back up with him, and me and Dru had did a solo album called Cash Me Out that was on Frisco Street Show. And then after that, we just hooked up. I started doing a couple of beats for Yukmouth when he was doing his DVDs, the Eye Candy and the everything he was working on. So then after that, it was just it was kind of it was kind of meant to be, me and my brother, we was around him so much. So then, Dru was him and Yuck had sat down there and talked about it. So then we just we basically just, that's how we got into regime, because we all like family, you know what I mean? That's basically how how it all happened.
So y'all still rocking and everything like that as to this day, right? Y'all just dropped a project last year, right?
Yeah, we just the Dragon Gang album, and we dropped two of them, on two separate labels. It was one was on RBC, so it wasn't really pushed that hard in the Bay Area. They based on LA or whatever, and they only our budget for them was only so much, so we just was putting our own money to be young and everything. And then the last Dragon, we had ran that through City Hall. So they basically dropped right around the same time, basically probably a month apart or something like that. Yeah, we had put out two projects a few months ago.
That's right. So, man, you mentioned City Hall, 2009. You and Jacka hooked up. Y'all had the Go Bots. It was one of City Hall's. Well, it was City Hall's bestseller that year. I know you've been promoting for a while, before the tragedy and all, before we get into that, I want, a lot of people are also asking about the GoBots 2. Do you got any?
It was already, it was out. Part 2 came out in 2010, out the D-Boy era. Second one we had put that one ourselves. So the first one, we had ran that one through Nick Peace also, because they were doing the, what was the name of the album he was doing with it was like on Mob Truck. I was around, when I was recording. Jacka was, so what happened was we got hooked up with Nick Peace, and he put out the first box, that was through City Hall, and then part 2, the D-Boy era, put that one ourselves. And then I recently had put out it was like right before Jack passed, we had put out 2.5. What we had did was we had got the masters back from City Hall from part 1, so I could remix everything, changed all the beats, all new features, pretty much like a whole out. So we got like part 1, part 2, and 2.5 out right now. People been waiting on part 3. That's what it is. So part 3 is done. We finished it like a couple months before Jack passed. So I just haven't been in trying to rush to put it out, because I'm not trying to like capitalize or like death. We trying to how everybody put out these singles and move with it. All right down, and then I put out part 3. I'm still kind of shook up about this. But me and Jack were real close. We had lived together for a few years. We had Hayward and like did so much. Like from 2008 all the way on to it. Yeah, been like real close. I've known them since the Mob Figure days. I was in the studio, a few times when they was recording. Well, the Mob Figure album, my other boy that's inside industry, he was real close to Killer Tay, so we was in the studio a couple of times when they was recording the Mob Figures album. So I had met Jack way back then, but part 3 is coming. It's done. It's like it's dope. Man. It's a dope album. Yeah, you know how we do. We kind of redo the old school songs. We had did like a bunch of stuff, man. People ain't gonna like, once they hear it, they gonna be like, wow. It's all like new stuff. Ain't nothing old. It's all new Jack verses, no recycle, nothing. Everything is new. So it will be coming soon. I'm just waiting. I will put it out. The right time once I feel like that. Me and his family and PK, the go to me. We'll sit down and figure out a game plan to how we gonna put it out. I just don't want to rush and put it out. So think of way I could sit on that album for a while, because it's like the music that we did on this one is like timeless. So I don't have to like rush and put it out. I won't like just come try to make a few dollars real quick. So. But it is coming though. GoBots 3 is coming, It is coming soon, so everybody, get ready for that one. So.
Well, there you go, Sickness. He answered the question. GoBots 3. My bad on the typo. I'm saying 2, but 3 definitely. He said it's coming. You just also a lot of a lot of people got Jacka questions. So people got Jacka questions. So it's like you mentioned you've been knowing Jack since you was around since the first album. So you've been around a while. So is that basically where the relationship started with you and Jack from being around?
Back then we wasn't like super close like that. I mean, we ain't knew each other through the music and stuff, but we didn't really like. Once we started, I think it was like probably like 2000. I had got a studio in Berkeley, and that's when we started working on GoBots 1. And I used to always go pick him up in Pittsburgh. He was still staying in Pittsburgh. He was still staying in the projects. It was crazy. He already had put out his first 2 albums. I used to go out there and pick one. This like when everybody started like sipping lean. Like, I mean, it wasn't like going crazy as it is right now, but I always had a lane, so I had to go out there and pick up Jacka. We used to, chill, come back to the lab and record. We used to do songs here and there. Cause he was on my first album, and every project I probably put out, Jacka was on there. So we always made music, you know what I mean? So, but it really get like close until probably like 2007, 2008, and then we had come up on a house in Hayward, and we had for like 3 years, and it was just like so much was going on, through those 3 years. Like everybody knew about that house, it's like we call it the mini mansion, Pretty Black had the first mini mansion, and then we had the second one in Hayward, and this was like where everything got started there, like the artist records started there, like I watched Cellski start the CBC, all that started there. Like everybody been to this house from Sebo to Paul Wall to Freeway to everybody, We used to come through there and record. So that's the time when we got real close. It's like the last year or so, we kind of drifted apart a little bit because we was doing this. He was doing his his stuff with Freeway. I was more doing the family thing, and so we were still doing the Go Box thing because we had a studio in Hayward. So we wasn't like really like every day, how we was like back like in 2010 to like 2013. We was like every day. We was hanging out, and everybody used to come to the house. That was like the house where everybody came. That's how we basically started chilling with each other around like 2007, 2008. We were doing the first Go Box album.
Okay, I dig it. So, besides the Go Box 3 album that you're sitting on, you got more material with Jack?
Yeah. I always, I recorded a whole bunch of stuff with him. So I got a lot of stuff that I have, from Jack, because we was living together. He was doing a lot of recording, so I was recording a lot of stuff. Like this around the time when he was doing like the Tear Gas album, so Jack was in the studio every day, So he used to do stuff every day. So every day he had verse leaks, so every day we'd be recording something. So a lot of stuff, like we had did a lot of songs that didn't make it on the Go Box. That were just like songs we were just recording. So I got like some solo projects that I'm gonna put out too. I got one called Run DNMC that I'm working on. And I got like new songs with him on there. I got everybody on there from like Trey the Truth, Gotti, a whole bunch of people. So I do have a lot of Jacka material, That's why I got a gang of art for 4-year-old, I like it to rush to put like none of this stuff out, I'm just sitting on it, I'm basically got like, it's like my, I want to call it my buried treasure, I'll probably dig through it one day and, see all, I got a lot of stuff I don't even remember that, that we had recorded, even when when Perner started his first, he started his career from like the drought season and the traffic and all that stuff. I was the one recording all that stuff. You know what I mean? So I got like, a lot of stuff on Burner, a lot of stuff on everybody. But I also engineer, and I mix and master and stuff too. So that's what a lot of people don't know. I produce, I rap, but I also have been engineering all these years. I kind of like, learned Pro Tools. So I learned a lot. So I kind of like learned how to record, because like Jack had changed up his style the last year or two, because he was doing a lot of writing in his phone. Sometimes you be lazy, you got a verse, you want to just knock it out real quick. He was doing like a lot of recycled stuff. So what he did was he stopped writing in his phone, and he started doing like punches, like line for line, like He'll like go in and do a bar, and then he'll be in there.
Like the original way of rapping, like if you was on a reel-to-reel or something back in the day.
Exactly. That's how he started recording, like the last year or so. He started doing this stuff like that, like bar for bar, instead of him like going in his phone and writing raps or writing it on paper. He'll just come straight off the head, and you could tell the way how his style changed from Tear Gas to to the album, all the stuff that he put out after that. You can tell, you can listen and hear how how his style has changed, and how his bars had changed up because he wasn't writing no more. He was just going off his head, doing like bar for bars. So kind of like trying to be like, but the go by stuff that I got, it's like before he started doing that. Like a few songs I got that he had switched it up when he was doing this new style, but a lot of stuff that I got was like during the tear gas era and stuff like that. So a lot of stuff I got.
Basically, you not to cut you off, but you saying you and I think I know what you're saying. So, but to the fans, if they don't understand, a lot of people like, I've seen online where a couple cats be like, "Oh man, Jack different. He rapping different. It ain't tear gas, or it ain't this. It ain't Barney, or But that's what it is. He went from being a preparation artist to not so to speak, was just on the spot artist, basically, a freestylist. Went from writing.
Exactly. You're right. Yeah, so it did change for people like some people will probably notice it, you know what I mean? Like, okay, yeah, he sounds different now because he stopped writing, just sound like a Lil Wayne and Jay-Z. They just get in the booth and they go off the head just like that. So that's what he started doing, you know what I mean? Freeway does that too. So I guess he probably kind of like picked that up from like picked it up like being around Freeway, because Freeway like write the whole verse in his head. I never seen nobody do that. He like write the whole verse in his head, like Freeway had do the whole verse in his head and get in the booth and spit it. I was like, wow, this is crazy. You know what I mean? I've never seen him write nothing, and that was crazy to me. I was like, wow, that's how he's like a real true MC. You know what I mean? He got real bars, so you can write a whole verse in your head and remember it. And get in there and spit it. That was crazy to me.
Philly, shout out to Philly, man. Man, like I said, people know you was real close with the Jack, so like I said, there's a lot of questions, but I'm going to try to make this the last one, but,
go ahead. It's all good.
Okay, well, on that one, but, I know it's a man. Rest in peace to the king, man, first and foremost. But, it was a tragic event. No, it was definitely unexpected. I mean, we never expect anything to happen like that, but when it happened, where was you when you got the news?
I was in Oakland at the time. It was crazy because I don't even stay in Oakland no more. I was in Oakland when we had got the call. And, you know what I mean? We talked about the call, I was like, yeah, whatever. People always say, start something, make up some stories, whatever, you know what I mean? So we was calling his phone, and he wasn't answering. I was like, oh, shit, it might be true, you know what I mean? So I made a couple calls, and then my phone was just, like, going off like crazy because it, like, spread so fast. Everybody was just calling me because a lot of people, they knew, like, even when Jack didn't have his phone, a lot of people used to contact him through me. They knew that we used to be hanging out a lot. People, I had the same number for, like, over, like, the last 10, 15 years. I haven't changed my number. Because my, that's how I get my money, so I have no reason to change my number. I'm not like running from my money. People change their numbers every month, stuff like that. I kept the same numbers. Everybody was able to contact me. You know what I mean? For Jackson, when people started hearing about it, my phone was ringing like crazy. I was like, damn, man, this shit might be fucking true. I was grateful. And I actually got on the phone with, I'm not sure if it was PK or it was somebody that I talked to. We went on to the hospital they had shipped him to. And it was just like, everybody was out there, man. All his close friends, everybody that knew him. It was just like, when it first happened, everybody was at the hospital. I was like, is it true? You know what I mean? If he really is, like, yeah. And he's just like, they said he had passed away, and it was just like crazy, man. I couldn't, I mean, like, for him, he would be the last person, I would think just like, he was such a good dude, man. He was so smart, and he knew so much, you know what I mean? He knew. He the one that kind of got me into Islam. He knew like the prayers in Arabic, by heart. He was like so smart. He knew so much stuff, man. He wasn't like, some of these cats that just think they know a lot of stuff. He actually knew a lot of stuff, and he knew he had a lot of knowledge. He was a real good dude. He was so caring and so giving. You know what I mean? He'd give you the shirt off his back. He was the kind of dude like, hey, take me to the mall. The new Jordans come out. You know what I mean? I'll buy you a pair too. Come on. You know, he was that type of dude. You know what I mean? He was just so cool, man. Like his blessings should have been like, you know, a millions times. You know, just plus. You know, he was just so good. You know, I mean, he was just a good dude, man. That's why when that happened to him, it was like tragic. You know what I mean? Out of anybody that I knew, I was like, that was the last person that I expected that would happen to. I mean, it was like, you know, wrong place, wrong time. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's just, you know, it wasn't meant for him to go. I know they say when it's your time to go, it's your time, but I don't think it was his time to go. You know what I mean? That was like some accident type, like they didn't know what was going on type shit. I don't even want to, you know, just because it kind of like when I think about it, I started going through all this fucking, you know, memories and thoughts, and it kind of like break me down a little bit. You know what I mean? He was such a good dude, man. You know, that's just so bad that it had to happen to him. You know what I mean? Anyway, I was in Oakland when it did happen. Like, you know, I went to the hospital, you know, when he at first got shot. We was all there, and everybody was there, all his family, everybody was there. So, you know,
Indeed.
It was great.
Yeah. I mean, yes, you definitely speaking the truth when you say he was a good dude. He's one of the, when I got on Sickness, and I think he was like one of the first like real artists that I reached out for an interview, and he didn't know me or nothing, you know what I mean? He granted me that, and he real got, and it was like a person like to this day I don't got this interview, and I'm so mad about it. I don't have it. But it was a dope interview. Like we got real personal. We talked about Islam. We talked about his kids. And that day forth, like I've been to several shows from Jacka. Like I've actually gassed up and drove miles just to go, you know what I mean, pop up and, you know, see him, because he was that good of a dude. You know what I mean? He helped me out. You know what I mean? So I was definitely a fan, man. Like I said in the beginning, man, R.I.P. King Jack. You know, I gotta ask you though, you know, would a tragedy like that happen? I know it's not the first for you, but it's definitely close to home. But musically, did that make you say, you know what, man, I might fall back?
Yeah, you know what? What was crazy was because ever since that happened, I haven't really been into my music how I was. You know what I mean? Like he was like one of them dudes that had me really going hard. You know what I mean? You know, you could tell like over the years how my style changed and how I developed just by being around certain artists. You know what I mean? Like how you get better over the years. You know what I mean? He was one of them dudes that like you couldn't help but to, you know what I mean, step it up, because he was a real lyricist. You know, he was a real rapper. He wasn't just like one of the everyday rappers. You know, he was just like he was a real rapper. And you know, he been everywhere around the world, from Africa to the UK. He got fans everywhere, you know what I mean? So it was like, you know what I mean? I didn't want to stop rapping, but I kind of like, I haven't been recording like how I was, you know what I mean? So I mean, that's why I'm like just sitting on a lot of material right now. But I've been like just taking time to get my mind right, you know what I mean, and everything, and you know what I mean, make sure I spend a lot of time with my family and stuff. Because you never know when it's going to happen. You know, you could be at a show and you catch a stray or something. You never know. So, you know, it's got to live every day like it's your last day. You never know when you're going to go, you know.